Higher Education Instructional Design Strategies. North Carolina Central University Presentation Designer Travis Cooper. Presentation Agenda. What is instructional technology? The ADDIE model, the UDL model, the UBD model, the MCP model, tools and platforms. What is instructional design? Instructional design is a systemic process of designing and developing instructional products and experiences in digital and physical formats in a consistent and reliable format that is culturally inclusive, accessible with high quality, and academic rigor. The ADDIE model. The ADDIE model consists of 5 stages: analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. Analysis. Establish instructional goals and objectives. Other topics include the audience, delivery options, pedagogical considerations, and the timeline. Design. Document the strategy, apply instructional strategies, create storyboards, design the user interface and user experience, create prototypes, and apply visual or graphic design. Development. Create and assemble the content assets that are created in the design phase. Implementation. Deliver the course and its equipment, such as multimedia needs and the website. Develop a process for training the facilitators and the learners. Evaluation. Measure whether the course provides the expected results. One of the most attractive elements of the ADDIE model is that it provides continual and formative feedback. During each stage, the model focuses on the role of feedback in an effort to find problems which will allow designers to alleviate them, which in turn is efficient and economical and benefits all stakeholders because it saves time and money.
The ADDIE. What is it? Here's some good news. Auto mechanic, doctor, gardener, or learning designer, each of them uses processes so that their work meets a particular standard. One of the common instructional design processes is known as ADDIE. ADDIE is both an acronym and a process. Here's what it means. A. Analyze. D. Design. D. Develop. I. Implement. E. Evaluate. If you want to solve any kind of problem, you need to understand the nature of the problem. To find a solution, you need to ask a series of questions. The problem in learning design is usually a gap between learners' current knowledge, skills, and attitudes, the desired or targeted ones. Hence, this analysis is sometimes referred to as gap analysis. Once you understand the various dimensions of the problem, you design a reasonable solution. Your ideas will form a blueprint, sometimes referred to as a design document. For online learning projects, many instructional design teams like to generate a prototype at this point in the process to see if what looked good on paper looks good when built. Once you've got your blueprint, your budget, and your tools, you will build a team that is ready to do the work. Developing means to author or write, edit, program, and conduct quality assurance on the learning solution. Implementation is where you connect learners with the instruction. In face-to-face teaching, implementation simply means delivering the course or training the trainers to do so. In online instruction, it means making the course available to learners or rolling out the training. After the instruction has been delivered, you will review the data, which includes survey responses, course completion rates, test scores, and other data, to determine how you could improve.
The UDL model, Universal Design for Learning. There are 3 stages. The first, the what of learning, representation. For resourceful, knowledgeable learners, present information and content in different ways. The why of learning, engagement. For purposeful, Motivated learners stimulate interest and motivation for learning. The how of learning, action and expression. For strategic, goal-directed learners, differentiate the ways that students can express what they know. Universal design for learning is a set of principles that gives all individuals an equal opportunity to learn. This design model offers a blueprint for creating instructional goals, methods, materials, and assessments that can work for everyone. UDL provides flexible approaches that can be customized and adjusted for individual needs. The UDL wheel, instructional materials, the media and tools used for teaching content, instructional methods, the manner in which the content is taught, and assessments, the method used for measuring student learning.
Imagine you went into a big clothes store and all that was on sale was one type of outfit, in one size, with no thought given to different individual body shapes or personalities. That would be crazy, right? Expecting everyone to be able to fit into the same size and express themselves in the same colour and style? Yet in many cases, that's exactly what is happening in our education system. When it comes to learning, variability is the rule, not the exception, and our college campuses are now grappling with the demands of an increasingly diverse cohort of learners, with increasing numbers of international students, students from different cultural and socio-economic backgrounds, mature students, and students with disabilities. Despite this, curriculums are still designed for the mythical average learner, and all are expected to engage and learn on the same terms. Not enough flexibility is built in at the design stage to give all students equal opportunities to learn in ways that play to their own strengths. So, how can our institutions respond to these challenges? Enter Universal Design for Learning, or UDL for short. UDL is an educational framework that guides the design of learning goals, materials, methods and assessments, as well as the policies surrounding these curricular elements, with the diversity of learners in mind. The framework was developed by US organisation CAST and is based on research in the field of neuroscience. It promotes 3 core principles for educators to build into their teaching practice, calling on them to provide students with multiple means of engagement, representation, and action and expression. The framework includes a set of guidelines on how you can turn these principles into practice. For example, by fostering collaboration with the introduction of group work with clear goals, roles and responsibilities. By using different types of media to support learning and ensuring that all materials are accessible. And by providing a choice of assessment instruments while maintaining robust learning outcomes. You are probably already including some UDL elements in your practice without realising it, and there's much more to explore. So don't be afraid to let Universal Design for Learning give you a new lens through which to look at your teaching and learning practice and help you to better reach all of your students. For more information and resources, visit ahead.ie/UDL.
The MCP model, Master Course Philosophy. A master course philosophy is an online curriculum management approach for institutions which centers on maintaining one master copy of each online course. Each time a course is taught, the master course is duplicated as a template. Utilizing a master course maintains integrity regardless of who teaches it. The UBD model, backwards design. The Understanding by Design model is a framework that utilizes backward design in which outcomes are analyzed to design curriculum units, classroom instructions, and assessments.
Educator and author Dr. Stephen Covey is quoted as saying, "Effective people plan with the end in mind. This means that you must first start with a clear understanding of your destination." The idea of knowing your destination is the very essence of the backward design model. The instructional design model that Wiggins and McTighe have created is a framework that begins with the learner's goals in mind. In order for course or unit instruction to be engaging and effective, instructors should start with the end in mind. The backward design approach consists of 3 steps. The first step of the model is to identify the desired results that you want from your learners. In other words, this is your destination for your students. This is the step that, as the designer or instructor, you will think about what information you want your students to understand, which should not be confused with what you want them to know. Results that produce student understanding will then in turn produce students that can transfer knowledge and skills into other situations. The second step of the model is to determine what you will gather from your students as acceptable evidence. It will be very important to make sure that when determining what this evidence will look like, be sure to choose evidence that will align with step 1, which is your desired results. Finally, the last step in the model is to plan the learning experiences and instruction of the course or unit. Your goal in this step is to make the instruction and learning experiences engaging and effective for all students.
Cultural and accessibility considerations. Consider various cultures when designing, various languages when designing, various disabilities when redesigning. Make educational materials accessible for those with varying disabilities. Media platforms. TED-Ed, lessons worth sharing. At its heart, TED-Ed.com is a library of 1,000 plus educational videos called TED-Ed Lessons. It's also a unique platform to create your own multiple choice and discussion questions for any YouTube video or existing TED-Ed lessons. For example, you can click on Discover, and you can view several lessons that have already been designed by instructors across the world on various subjects based on age group, college, elementary school, high school, what have you. If you don't find what you're looking for there, you can create your own lesson by simply clicking on Create. And we'll use a business course, for example, that's studying debits and credits. So I'll just type in debits and credits. And several videos to choose from will be displayed. Let's choose another subject. Let's try music history. Again, several videos that you can choose from. Let's try this one. Here's the video here. You'll just play and see if it suits your taste. And also there is text in regards to what's going on in the video here at the bottom.
So we'll start off in around 1000 AD, just because that's when people start to bother writing things down. The guys that were interested in writing things down were the church, because they wanted to make sure everyone, sang from the same hymn sheet, as it were.
You can simply click Continue and start developing your lesson here. Click on Let's Begin. You can introduce your lesson in a few sentences. Think. You can add multiple choice questions in reference to the video or the information that was presented earlier. Dig deeper. Add some more information for your students to view. Discuss. The description here can be optional, but this pretty much serves as the discussion board that's on Blackboard and Canvas, so it's very synonymous. And finally, you can add closing thoughts. After that's complete, you'll just simply publish your video here or your lesson here, and you can upload the link in one of your modules in your Blackboard course. TED-Ed Lessons. Poll everywhere. Poll everywhere. Poll Everywhere is an online service that allows instructors to ask their students a question in real time. The students answer the question using their mobile phones, Twitter, or web browsers. Both the question and the students' responses are displayed live in Keynote, PowerPoint, and or on the web. Simply create a question by clicking the Create tab. And you have several selections here of what types of questions you like to create. You can use multiple choice, word cloud, Q&A. You can use a clickable image, images you can upload as well, survey, open-ended question. You can create competitions between students or teams within the class. If you click more here, you can use donut charts, icebreakers, upvote, leaderboard, emotion scale, presentation feedback, spotlight, retrospective, and the list goes on and on. But let's create a multiple choice question. So I'll simply type in my question: how many schools are there in the UNC system? And just simply type your answer here. You can use text or URL. 16 or 12 are the answers that I will put. After that, simply click Create, and it's just that simple. The question is created. How many schools are there in the UNC system? 16 or 12. And you would just simply click Activate, and once you click Activate, you will get this information here. It's a simple link. You can highlight the link and you can place it inside of your chat in your Blackboard class session. Now, if you want to configure things, you can go to how many people can respond, how they respond, whether it's on a website or what have you, text messaging, audience restriction and identity. Everyone, there are no restrictions, or you can add restrictions. However, they must provide a screen name. Response settings. Each person may respond up to one time or as many times they like. It's up to you as the instructor. Each option may be selected up to one time or how many times you like to put there. You can test it by going here or go to present, and it'll tell you how to present here, so the instructions are there as well. You can also click on the bottom here for response history, and it will tell you the total number of responses that you received, as well as the screen name of who actually presented those responses. So there are several things that can be done within Poll Everywhere to enhance online instruction as well as face-to-face. Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark. Transform your ideas into stunning visual stories. Create impactful social graphics, web pages, and short videos in minutes with Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark would serve as a great resource for professors and instructors to design web graphics, social media graphics, thumbnails, and short videos. So this is a workshop or presentation that I did with some design professionals at North Carolina A&T University in Greensboro, North Carolina. It was a Adobe Spark mock training, and this is the product example that we were able to create with the professors there. gives the education of professors, their location, what they teach, their office hours, and a personal logo that they can actually use to place on their video. So this was an example that they could actually place on Blackboard instead of using just the basic information about the professor. They could use this as a multimedia product to grab interest and enhance learning in the online classroom. North Carolina Central University, where the eagle is no ordinary barnyard fowl.